Ryan, I don't know how much you know about this actually, but in Kansas City, there's a joyous Christmas time tradition where they call it the plaza lighting. So there's this kind of particular area. It's modeled after the town of Sevilla, Spain.
Is this the Country Club Plaza?
It is the Country Club Plaza.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
And every year they light it up, string up the lights, everything like that. There's this big ceremony on Thanksgiving Eve. No, just the evening of Thanksgiving is what I meant to say. And they light it up, literally speaking. And
They lit on fire.
No.
Okay, cool.
They light it up with lights. But there was kind of an interview with the main electrician on the news leading up to this. And they're like, what's one thing you want everyone to know? Or what's one thing that people might not know about this? And he just goes, when they flip the switch, the lights actually turn on. Okay, that it's actually wired up. There's no remote controls or anything. Like, it's actually happening. And I like to think that he's just getting bugged by his family, his friends. They're like, okay, what are you actually doing now? It's actually a remote control. He's like, no, I spent half the year setting this up.
A little appreciation would be nice.
Please put some respect on my name. Thank you.
I'm curious to see how many people thought it wasn't a switch.
Yeah,
being flipped.
I would not have thought, oh, that's got to be a remote control kind of thing. I think the idea is that when you flip a switch, lights turn on.
That's typically what I've seen in my own experience.
Yeah, and those,
we could test it out now.
I'm pretty sure those are wired up.
Oh, okay.
If I had to guess, they're not.
You don't have a remote control
No,
in your pocket or something like that.
If I did, we wouldn't have the whole two light switch situation problem
from
that
several episodes
I've been faced with. But yeah, maybe I should reach out to him about that.
Okay.
See about him getting that fixed up.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to episode 27 of 3 a.m. in the afternoon, or just welcome if you are a brand new listener.
That's right.
Thanks for tuning in. We appreciate it. I got my pink lemonade here next to me.
Right.
I'm back on the craze.
Sipping on that pink drink. And that's how you know it's going to be a good episode for Ryan.
That's right.
I do not have pink lemonade, but I'm still going to have a good time. Ryan, how's the week been going for you? Outside of the pink lemonade, obviously that helps.
It's been a busy one.
Okay.
It has been kind of a deviation from the norm of my usual weeks.
Right.
Where I'm not doing a ton.
Except your first week, of course.
Except my first week.
And probably your seventh week, whatever that was.
My fourth week, I think.
That was particularly busy, yes.
Or maybe it was my fifth week.
I think it was actually both of those, but
yeah.
Regardless, it is another busy week for you.
It is, and we got everything going on. We got classes going on.
Okay.
Not that I'm going to them.
They are going though.
There's certainly assignments that need to be turned in for those. We've got social events going on that I am being forced to take part in. We got a variety of other things. Okay. Exams.
Good.
Exams. In all, I would say it was a busier week. It's kind of cooled down now, but maybe not, because I do have a lot of stuff to turn in the next couple of days. But how about you?
It's been great. Yeah, had a good time. I got chills twice this week, Ryan. How about that? How often are you getting chills?
Maybe like once a month.
Once a month. Yeah, exactly. And this was not because of any fever or anything like that. My immune system is doing better than ever. Certainly better than those few weeks that I was sick there. But yeah, got chills twice. One of them was yesterday. I went to my friend Ariel's choir concert. She had a little Christmas choir concert at the Newman Center here on campus.
Mm-hmm.
And just a lovely time. Loved hearing the singing. Once again, had the audience participation, Ryan. It has been brought back for now the second
ready this time?
Of 2 concerts. I was given beforehand notice.
Good.
From Ariel. She's like, by the way, there's going to be audience participation. I'm like, all right, I'll warm up. I'll get going. And I think this one was even more so. You know, they built up the confidence a little bit last concert, and now they really cashed in because they had to sing a whole verse of a song. So this wasn't just like call and response. This wasn't just clapping on 2nd and 4. No, on 1 and 3, I should say. I don't know, one of the two. The other is a sin. Either one. Anyway, the audience was singing a verse to a Christmas carol. So this was a tune that people generally knew if they were Christian and familiar with the tune. So we were ready for that. We were ready to go. And frankly, it was nice. But that wasn't what gave me chills. It was they got the whole choir singing. They also brought in the instruments. We got this wasn't just a choir concert, Ryan.
Was it? What kind of instruments do we have going on?
We got trumpets.
Okay.
We got drums of various varieties. Probably other pianos for sure. So just some nice accompaniment. And really, when they got the full choir singing, when they got the instruments, just fills. And I mean, you can't help but get the chills. It moved me a little bit with a little shake,
it did.
A little shimmy.
Yeah,
not actually, but
kind of.
It was quite nice. It was quite nice. I'll say I enjoyed it. But the other time I got chills this week was probably an equally kind of important experience, and that was watching Polar Express. What now? Yeah, what are your thoughts on the Polar Express, Ryan? We need to get this out there.
It's a heartwarming movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice, heartfelt.
Mm-hmm.
I don't exactly remember what happened. Do they save Christmas? Do they just go to the North Pole? I know there's the train, obviously, is a big part of it.
Right. That is the whole part of it, almost.
I don't really remember why they go on the train, but I do remember the kids don't look quite right.
Okay.
They kind of look uncanny valley.
See, you say that.
In my opinion.
You say that.
In my opinion.
You say that.
I do.
I think they look better than I expected. I'll be honest.
So you had never seen it?
I'd seen it multiple times before, but it's been a number of years, probably over a decade. And now I come back to it and I'm like, look, this was early 2000s. I'm not expecting much here.
Sure.
I'm expecting to, quite frankly, be frightened.
Okay.
Scared of these characters, of these children, and of Tom Hanks. And frankly, I was overjoyed with what I saw in response.
Okay.
What I saw in response was what I can only describe as a cinematic masterpiece. Ryan, The Polar Express, one of the most underrated films in history.
Who's underrated?
Everyone's like, no, Polar Express, no. It's scary. It looks bad. It doesn't look bad. It looks like it should win an Oscar, frankly.
Maybe it did. I don't know. I just know that, well, for one, you just told me you deliberately lowered your expectations going into the movie.
I didn't deliberately lower them. They were lowered for me by everyone talking bad about it over the years. So like, oh, it looks bad. So it's like, oh, okay, it's going to look bad.
It seems like they all hyped, or not the opposite of hyped.
Exactly.
It maybe just too much.
I would say certainly so.
So that's the hate.
But, it is. But ultimately, you've got animation quality pretty decent, I would say. We've got excellent music, great storyline. Tom Hanks voices 6 characters.
Can you hash out the storyline for me again real quick?
Yeah.
Because I'm not...
There's this kid.
The recall is not...
Right. It's not there. It's not there. There's this kid. There's this boy.
Yeah.
He ruins Christmas for his sister by telling her that Santa's not real.
That's messed up.
Placing doubts in her head because he has doubts of his own.
Oh my God.
Doubter's tale. Doubters all around.
Sure.
That's actually almost entirely what the movie is about. It's about doubting and believing.
Okay. Are all the doubters on the Polar Express, or
no? I don't know how they got picked exactly.
Okay, that
is not cleared up, but I don't think you need to know that.
Saving it for the sequel,
right? Yes, they're making a sequel 20 years down the line. Anyway, so this kid, he's a doubter.
I do love how you said that as like the most insulting thing.
I mean,
he's a doubter.
That's unbelievable.
It's not right,
and he certainly is an unbelief, but. Anyway, he is going about his business Christmas Eve. He's trying to catch Santa in the act, placing the presents under the tree, all that jazz. Then he goes back up to his room, and what do you know? Big rumble from the street.
Okay.
Train rolls up. He's like, do I get on this train? There's this man with a mustache who's trying to get me on this vehicle.
Sure.
He's like, I'll consider
Seems
it.
okay.
At first he thinks no, but then he runs and catches up. And he gets on the train. Anyway, he gets on this train. It's a great time. He's meeting friends. He's drinking hot chocolate from acrobatic servers. All this sorts of things. Anyway, they go about their business. He steals this girl's ticket and tries to bring it to her even though she's coming right back, and then he loses the ticket. But then the ticket comes back. It's kind of a round trip for the ticket. The ticket is back in safe hands.
Why are they on the train?
They're going to the North Pole.
Okay. They are going to the North Pole.
They are indeed. And they do make it there.
Okay.
Although
I seem to remember
there's
a point where the train starts skidding on the ice.
Isn't that exciting?
I mean, apparently it was to my small child brain because I
it was
remembered
to my big adult brain as
Okay,
well.
good.
Yeah, train skidding on the ice. They're like, ooh, they run into they don't run into them, but they almost run into a pack of caribou.
Oh my gosh.
Or reindeer. One of the two.
Are these Santa's reindeer or?
They did not look to be.
Okay.
And they were not.
No
But-
red noses or
No,
whatnot.
not that I saw.
Okay.
Which that's an interesting thing. No Rudolph. Once they get to the North Pole, no
oh
Rudolph.
my goch.
I guess this was before the
Maybe he dropped out.
this
All
maybe
the-
either
all the
either it's
bullying.
a post Rudolphian times
Sure.
or it's pre Rudolph.
Pre Rudolph, maybe.
It's either PR or PR.
Yeah.
And it's like has the foggy Christmas Eve happened yet?
Let's hope it's pre Rudolph.
I would hope
Post
so.
Rudolph, it seems kind of sad.
It seems sad, but maybe he went into retirement.
Maybe.
He went to Boca Raton and he's got a vacation house there.
Okay.
He just wanted a warmer climate. That's what I would choose to think if that were the case. That's not specified in the canon though, so it could go either way. Anyway, they have all sorts of hijinks and fun adventures on this train. Then they make it to the North Pole and continue having hijinks and fun times. Mostly detaching one of the train cars and going for a ride through the elf village. They try to make their way back. They end up in Santa's big bag of presents. They basically are
gosh.
getting kidnapped left and right.
Yeah, that doesn't seem right.
And anyway, things come down to it. The kid ends up believing in Santa
I would hope so by
because
now.
he saw him.
Yeah.
Anyway, that movie gave me chills, is what I'm trying to say.
I got that.
Just out of how good it was. But yeah, he comes to believe. There's this whole storyline with the bell, where he
What bell?
he can't hear the bell ringing. The bell from Santa's sleigh.
Oh,
Because
because he's not a believer?
little sleigh bell.
Is that why?
That's the implication.
Oh, okay.
Because once he starts believing, then he starts hearing it.
Okay. Good.
And then it's a whole thing. We didn't really need to go through all that. But
Yeah, I was letting you explain it. I didn't know what was important and what wasn't.
I didn't really either because it's all important, Ryan. That's
It's
the
all
thing.
important.
That's the thing.
We should have just watched the movie then.
I would be down. Name a time. And
I think I'm busy.
Okay. Busy all the time.
Yep.
Just busy.
Busy bee.
Uh,
Have you heard of Cardi B?
I have heard of Cardi
It's
B.
like that.
She's quite busy. Anyway, I would suggest a rewatch. How long has it been since you've watched it?
It's been years.
Yeah. It's time for a rewatch. You're due up.
I'm due up for an oil change.
Yes.
If the oil change were rewatching Polar Express. Well, you watched Polar Express. Did you? Did you watch anything else? Do anything else?
I did. Coincidentally enough, I did. I watched Lord of the Rings for the first time.
That was your first time ever?
First time ever. Yes.
Wow.
Watching it. And yes, there was kind of a watch event, a showing
A watch party.
of back to back Lord of the Rings 1, 2, and 3 extended editions, Ryan.
Wow.
So
That's quite the commitment.
that was going on 12 hours of content. And I was not there for all of it because stepped out for lunch, stepped out for choir concert.
Stepping out, watching Polar Express in your
Sure.
own room.
Yeah, in between movies, I'm watching Polar Express. Just all sorts of content all the way around. But it was quite good. My main thing with that is it wasn't like I was expecting to not like it. But I think I was at the point where I was like I wasn't expecting to not like it because I'm like, obviously it's a good because so many people like it. But I don't know if it's for me necessarily. And I gotta say, I enjoyed it more than I thought. Lord of the Rings, probably one of the more underrated franchises in movie history. No, but it was quite good. I feel in the know now. Ask me anything about Lord of the Rings. I've got it.
Ask you anything?
Yeah, anything.
I mean, you haven't seen The Hobbit, presumably.
I said about Lord of the Rings.
Okay.
About Lord of the Rings.
Okay. I don't know that I want to quiz you. I don't want to embarrass you. So
It wouldn't be embarrassing.
okay.
I would just edit it out.
All right.
No, I wouldn't do that.
Okay.
I'm okay being embarrassed. You should know this by now.
You actually want me to quiz you?
Yes.
Okay. I'm trying to make a fair question for you.
Okay. No multiple choice, just short answer.
All right.
Written response, essay. 5 paragraph.
5 paragraphs.
Yeah. Right out of prompt.
How much were you paying attention to these films?
In one hand, a great deal. On another hand, I was also trying to do some homework.
Okay.
Don't factor that in though.
Cool.
I don't even care what.
Great.
I've got it.
What? Let's do it. Let's do the name of a character.
Easy. That's what I was expecting.
All right.
To be
cool.
honest. I've got one name in mind, so if it's this one, it's gonna be great.
What's the name of the guy, the human, that dies when he gets shot with a ton of arrows? Because he's trying to take the ring.
Boromir.
You actually okay? That is right.
That was the name that I had in my head.
That seriously?
I'm being dead serious.
All right. Do you know his brother's name?
Faramir.
I think that's also right.
There we go. I was less confident on the pronunciation there, so I was just I kind of flew through that. I don't know if you noticed that.
I'm proud of you.
Faramir.
I think the next step is to watch the Hobbit movies if you haven't seen those, which you said you haven't.
I've heard bad things about those.
They're not great.
Yeah. So why would I watch them?
Well, maybe you've heard so many bad things, like how you've heard so many bad things about the Polar Express.
Are you seriously comparing the Hobbit to the Polar Express right now?
Well, you haven't seen it, so I am.
Okay. Well, I have seen the Polar Express, so that'd be a false kind of.
You haven't seen the Hobbit.
That's right.
And it might be just as good. Could be better.
Doubtful.
In any case, I have seen all of them, which is why I did not attend the Lord of the Rings watch party.
Yeah. The general consensus, I was mentioning this to you earlier, but the general consensus was that it really added something to the films. Because watching through all the 12 hours, at the end, you're struggling as much as them, frankly.
It seems like
when Frodo's climbing up the mountain and he's really bearing the weight, you're bearing the weight of not...
an empathic bond with Frodo.
Right. Yeah. You're bearing the weight of not having had a real meal all day and just snacking. It takes a toll on the body.
It's basically the same.
Right. Really taking a toll from just sitting all day and not...
Legs are starting to hurt from how much sitting you're doing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so I think it really adds to kind of the struggle that you feel with him.
I like that.
And also the really just the agony of, let's get this over with. Let's drop the ring in. Come on. Let's do this. So I think that's something to take into consideration. I really want you to consider this.
Well, see, like I said, I've seen them all. I've often reminisced about rewatching them. It's not even.
You've always really reminisced. Why not seize the opportunity, Ryan?
I've always thought maybe I'll rewatch them, but then I think about something my friend told me.
Okay.
That has always stuck in my mind as the most true thing I've ever heard.
Okay.
Is you don't want to rewatch Lord of the Rings, Ryan. You want to rewatch.
That's it. That's so true. That's so true.
You want to rewatch the good parts of Lord of the Rings, the cool parts, like when they're fighting at Helm's Deep, or they're in Mordor, or when they have all the horses and they're charging the elephants.
Right.
That you don't want
Basically,
to.
the fight scenes.
Yeah,
You're a fight
basically.
scene kind of guy.
You want to watch the good parts, the chase scenes, not all of the other stuff.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know if I mean, maybe for you, for where you're at in your movie watching experience. Maybe it's not time you watch The Polar Express, Ryan. Maybe, I don't know if you're ready for that.
I'm not
yet.
ready.
No, I don't know. I mean, that's fair. I'm not a huge fight scene guy, just because it's like I don't know what's going on. Frankly,
You don't support violence.
It just seems, yeah, exactly. I am. I don't know. It just seems like there's a lot going on, and it's like
most battles there's usually a lot of things going on.
It's like I guess it gets
you don't know what to follow.
It gets the adrenaline up a bit.
Sure,
but I feel like maybe I'm off on this, but I feel like a big part of Lord of the Rings is the character development, really, of any movie. So if you just isolate on the fight scenes, then it's like no development.
I feel like that's unfair because I've already seen the movies. I already know all the character development.
Well, but are you a guy who you never rewatch a movie?
I don't. Not really.
Okay.
I don't usually.
Interesting.
That's why I haven't rewatched The Polar Express.
Yes, I can see why.
I'll also say that I've read the books. Yeah. So I don't know. It's just not something really. Yeah, I'm assuming you haven't read the books.
I've not. No.
Okay.
No idea.
Great.
That would have been an unfair advantage on the trivia questions, though. I'll say that.
I watch clips when they pop up on YouTube from time to time, and it's not just the fight scenes. I feel like that was an inaccurate characterization of what I watched. Maybe that's on me.
Well, yeah, I think
based on what I told you.
You just listed the fight scenes.
I'm sorry about that.
Yeah,
but it is, just some of the better moments of the films.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I don't know. You're entitled to that opinion.
I am.
But
and I'll die on this hill.
Yeah. Okay. No, that's fine. I don't know. I think there's something to be said about rewatching movies. I hear people that are like, I rewatch a movie, I just feel my life ticking away, and it's like, all right, that's a pretty dramatic way to put it, but
very morbid.
No, I get that, and you say, I know the character development, fair, but I feel like you still. Knowing how the characters develop is different than like re-experiencing that, if you know what I'm saying.
Sure.
And so I really want you to reconsider. I really want you to reconsider watching Polar Express. Is what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
But anyway, that's fair. Teach their own. I'm not mad about it. It doesn't upset me.
It seems like you want me to rewatch The Polar Express or The Lord of the Rings at this point.
No, I really don't care.
Okay. Because I'm not going to.
Okay. Yeah. Were there any highlights? You went to a formal, Ryan. I haven't talked to you since then. I saw you the night of the formal. We went and got sandwiches together.
You got a sandwich. I got a pizza.
That's true.
I offered to share a pizza with you.
Yeah.
You not even respectfully declined. You just declined. You maybe disrespectfully declined.
No. I have respect for you and everything I do.
I did go to a formal. Mm-hmm. Yes.
How was it?
It was different.
Okay.
Than the ones that we had talked about previously on this.
How so?
On this podcast. It was less fun.
Okay, it was less fun. Sure.
That was the main takeaway, I would say.
Yeah.
Not really because of, like you said, I got to see you.
Mm.
I was there with friends.
It was less fun because you got to see me.
It was. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
Not because of the company. Company was great. But just because of the venue, the atmosphere, let me just lay it out for you.
Please do.
So before the formal, there's a dinner. We didn't have a dinner before the other ones.
Okay.
So there were actually two dinners. One of which you were a part of.
Yes.
So we have this dinner, and it's at the sorority house that's hosting the formal. So I'm already out of my element.
Right.
I've got what's going on?
Yeah. Is
What
this
is
your
this
first time
place?
in a sorority house?
It is not my first time, but
Okay,
it might be my
okay.
last time.
Okay. Okay.
And we're having this dinner. The dinner, I don't want to sound rude or ungrateful
Right.
because I'm neither of those things,
Right.
but it wasn't great.
Right. It was not full of greatness.
It
to say
was
the least.
not. It was not.
Mhm.
I don't.
Unlike you, it was not full of greatness.
No, thank you.
You're welcome.
So it wasn't terrible either.
Mhm.
It was okay. We're in the middle of the road here.
Okay.
There was a salad.
Mhm.
I'm not a big salad guy.
You're not a big
I
salad guy.
think people know that about me.
Yeah. Was
And
it a
now
big salad or?
It was a small salad,
Okay.
which is actually good in
Yeah,
my scenario.
That's preferred.
Um,
As little salad as possible.
and then there was chicken and like 2 like potatoes and then like water and a chocolate cake. It was fine.
Yeah.
That part's not important. The
Yeah.
important part is that it wasn't a lot. Then after we went and got a second dinner, which is something you might know about from the Lord of the Rings movies because
Yes.
they often eat first and second breakfast.
That's right. That's
So we had a second dinner. You were there for that part because
I was.
we came and retrieved you.
That was my first dinner, actually. So believe it or not,
We
I just had
managed
first
to
dinner.
convince you to tag along. I still don't know how we did that, but I'm glad you were there.
Well, you said we'll get food.
Yeah.
Because originally it was just gonna be going to the bars. I'm like, well, I need dinner. So
Yeah,
and you're like, well, we can get dinner. I'm like, wow, this changes everything.
that is true.
And yeah, it was a great time. It was a great time. Little Pickleman's action. But anyway, yeah. So carry on. First, second dinner, that's all good.
So
When I left you, we were rolling up to the bus that was going to take people to the venue, and there's a lot going on. There's a lot of yelling, people
There is.
jumping around, leaping about,
let me tell you, man.
that sort of thing.
This is my first rodeo,
Okay, sure.
but it, like I said before, it might be my last.
Yes,
It is very frantic. You talk about sisterhood.
right.
You talk about unbreakable bonds. This seemed more like competition in the Sahara.
Whoa. Okay.
We're talking, competing for resources.
What kind of
food.
resources are we competing for here?
We're competing for seats on the bus
Okay.
that will take you to the venue.
Mhm.
Because I guess there's some sort of national, at least this is what was told to me.
Mhm.
Please don't fact check me on this.
I think I also heard this.
There's some sort of national rule where you have to take the bus to the venue and back.
Yeah. Oh.
So
I
that's
think
why
that's a pretty common rule, from my knowledge.
I think it is too.
Yeah.
And that's why after we finished eating dinner, we had to walk all the way back to campus to get on a bus.
Right.
Which then took us basically about 2 minutes from where we were before.
way.
So
Nice.
that was great.
Good.
And the other thing is this bus that we were on taking us to the venue, it's a party bus.
Mhm.
But I don't know why it was a party bus because we were only on there for about 5 minutes.
Yeah,
So
get crazy.
We went crazy
Go.
for a while, about
Mhm.
300 seconds.
Yes.
And then got off and went into the venue, which I don't even know what this place was called.
Mhm.
I have no idea. I'd never heard of it before. But we get in there. It has a bar and a dance floor. About it. It was fine, but we got there pretty late. So we were only there for like an hour or so. Then we
Yeah.
got back on the party bus and went back.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to hate. 'Cause
Okay.
I'm not a hater.
Sure.
But the one where I was dressed up as a corn was, in my opinion, more fun.
Yeah.
It might have been because this time I had to dress up in an actual suit and tie,
That's
which is less fun.
kind of speaks less to your identity, I would say.
One thing that did happen, so this has become a more and more common occurrence,
Mhm.
especially in these parts, is that
And which parts are these?
would be your school.
Okay.
So I'm here, I'm with this group, and this one girl is talking to me like she knows me, and I'm like,
Right.
could you just remind me of your name.
Yeah.
And then she's like, oh, we've actually never met, but it's
Right.
like I know you
Yeah.
because of our podcast,
Yes.
basically, because
Yes.
of you, who she presumably does now, because
She does. Yes. Yes.
and that has become an increasingly common occurrence. That also happened with, I think, 2 of your other friends. So
Yeah.
I don't want to say that the fame is getting to me, but
Right. Yeah.
it is getting hard to keep track of all of the names. So
Yeah. I did find it interesting you started carrying a Sharpie with you just in case you needed to sign anything.
yes,
I thought that was kind of an interesting move from you. But
yeah,
hey, I don't know what kind of recognition I mean, I guess I do know what kind of recognition you're getting, and it seems pretty immense.
it is substantial for
It is
sure.
a lot. It is a lot.
Anyway, that was my Saturday night.
Saturday night. And
We
we were in the
actually
spot.
went back after we got back. We went back out to the bars.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Back out to around where you were. once
Basically,
again.
yes. So we had to take the bus back to the sorority house
Uh,
and then walked back to basically where we were.
oh, wow.
Um,
That is not great.
so that was about 3 trips in very cold weather.
Yeah. Seems inefficient from a transport perspective.
It does. It really kind of makes you think of the way cities are developed, structured
Certainly.
around transportation.
Certainly. Yes. Yes, exactly. Excellent. Excellent. Yeah. I've only been in a sorority house actually twice before. How about that? But I know the last time I was in one, I saw in the basement, they had like a 4 pictures of the 4 founders of the sorority. And that gets you thinking, like there's 4 founders of this place. How did that work? They were just like, they're all friends. Here's how I picture it going down. They're all friends. They're like, this is so much fun hanging out.
Sure.
We should charge people to hang out with us. and then it was started. It was born.
Sure.
I think this
I
is
think you're
actually
going to get in trouble.
I think this was the first sorority
This,
potentially in the world.
I was going to say that. They actually, this is another fact that I picked up, is that they are the first sorority because they coined the term sorority. So it seems a little bit like cheating, but
I like it though.
I mean,
I like it.
it is certainly a valid strategy.
Those 4 ladies were trailblazers,
All
frankly.
of the
Business minds.
quote unquote sororities prior to them were actually women's fraternities,
Yeah.
which Charlie, as you know, really could not get behind.
Really? He has not grasped that at the moment.
It's a foreign concept to Charlie, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You definitely don't hear about it too much anymore. But anyway, I don't know. Are you interested in maybe starting
we did start a women's
a
fraternity,
men's sorority?
A men's sorority.
Is that maybe?
Yeah.
That's not good.
And then we charge people to hang out with us.
Yes, over the airwaves.
Yes,
in the form of a 5-star review, maybe. If you're interested,
if you think about it, this podcast is like a men's fraternity.
Men's, women's, co-ed.
It's a co-ed fraternity.
It's a co-ed fraternity. Kind of a, there's professional fraternities.
We're a professional organization.
We are
professionals.
Yeah. So if you would like to network, definitely share this podcast with a friend, all that sort of thing. But anyway, Ryan, I guess leading up to that event on Saturday, I was at an event of my own. It was the Hour of Code in the Lincoln,
That's right.
Nebraska
You were
area.
telling me a little bit about that.
I was, yeah. It was at Innovation Campus. Lots of innovation going down at this Hour of Code. But I guess basically for some context, Hour of Code is like a kind of like a learn to code kind of event. So you've got, mostly like elementary school, middle school kids who haven't had much experience with programming. They come in and they write their first lines of code for an hour. You got to stay there for an hour. You can't leave.
Well,
They lock you in.
of course.
But
It's not
anyway,
called half an hour of code.
right. So I was there doing my first hour of code. But not actually. I was there representing my school, my university, and frankly, our audience wasn't really there. We're mostly looking at high school students that are kind of applying to colleges.
Yeah. Seniors going out
Yes.
and into college.
Yes. So, setting up a booth. I also showed up in the second half of the event. In the first
So
half,
the
we
second
had
half hour of code.
the second. Well, I was actually there for an hour and a half.
Oh my gosh.
It was a 3-hour
How
event.
does that work?
I don't know. I feel lied to. I feel betrayed.
Seems like they should rename it.
Probably. I also was not coding. I was recruiting.
Seems like they really should rename it.
It
Then.
was mostly an hour and a half of recruiting is what I was doing. But yeah, so I get these kids coming up to my table, like, "Hey, are you looking at colleges? Are you looking
from
at
3
colleges?"
a.m.
Yeah, right.
in the afternoon?
They're like, "I love your podcast." Like, wow, all right. Yeah, so it's hey, have you started thinking about college or what? Kind of, you're like, no, I'm in third grade. No. So you kind of read. It's like, well,
They're asking you what college is.
yes, it's a great question.
What is a computer? They
Right.
probably know that. Maybe.
But, I mean, hopefully they've learned.
Yeah.
Otherwise, maybe let's try.
Education system has failed.
Let's try a second hour.
Yeah.
How about that? But anyway, so it's kind of tough to. Luckily, the parents are there.
You're taking down names. Like maybe we'll get back to you in a few years.
Yeah.
But
we will write down your info and we will be sure to reach out. We've had a lot of qualified candidates this year.
Mm-hmm.
But I think we just are looking for someone with a little bit more experience in the life category.
Yeah. We're giving you your hour of code back.
Right. Right. But anyway, yeah, I showed up in the second portion of the event to take over kind of a shift scenario. And I guess in the first hour, there was all sorts of stuff. Cooper was there representing. He was handing out VR, not
VR headsets.
I mean, it's like the cardboard VR headsets.
Oh, okay.
So you put your phone in there and it turns it into like 3D stuff.
Yeah.
Everyone was gobbling those up.
Of course.
Basically, the main thing I had people coming up to me asking is like, is this the place for the VR headsets? And it was, but not anymore.
You're about an hour and a half too early.
Yes.
Or too late.
Right. Yeah. We will have a reshipment after the end of the event. But yeah, they were selling like
hotcakes.
Like chocolate cakes. Yeah.
Chocolate cakes.
But anyway, it was a good time though. Didn't have a lot of traffic, I'll say that. So I was mostly standing there. Just kind of standing around. But I think we did get some solid recruits out of that. So coming down the pipeline in about a decade or so, we should be on the lookout.
Well, you start them early. That's what they always say.
That's right.
Never too early to garner an interest in computer science.
In a very particular honors program at the University of Nebraska.
In a specific.
So are you interested in computer science and business? Well, do I have the program for you?
Do I know of a school with that specific intersection?
Yes, that intersectionality. But anyway, so that's been going on. I think another highlight of the week, Ryan, and honestly, how could you miss it, is it's Spotify Wrapped season.
It is.
That comes with the kind of turning of Thanksgiving into Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
That's really another marker. Do you listen to Christmas music before or after Spotify Wrapped comes out? How were you looking this year?
Listen, I have doubts about Spotify Wrapped.
Yes.
I feel like it doesn't represent my musical tastes as well as it should.
Yeah, you think you see people getting. I've seen multiple people comment that they're like, I don't like people putting on their Spotify Wrapped like exactly. Wow, this checks out because it's all data, and that makes sense. But at the same time, I've been surprised by my results. So
yeah, I mean, I don't know when it starts and when it stops counting. What is the fiscal year for Spotify Wrapped?
Yeah, which I have some insights on that.
Okay, great. But my Spotify Wrapped was mainly rap.
Okay,
maybe that's fitting for Spotify Wrapped.
Yes.
Maybe that's kind of why
do
it was.
Do they do other genres?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think they would probably call it something else.
Yes.
But I also know that I listened to a lot of classic rock this past year, and it was nowhere to be seen, nowhere to be found.
Yeah, I'm trying to flex my classic rock portfolio here.
And I was like, I can't post this on my Instagram. What is this?
You're gonna
Seems
get
like I've got
flagged.
a one-track mind.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like maybe this is an unpopular opinion.
Uh-huh.
I do not really care about what my music preferences
Mm.
that they garner from my big data.
Your big data.
I just don't like. I tapped through it and I was like, I guess.
Yeah.
And then I didn't post it anywhere.
Yeah.
I didn't look back. I didn't change my music preferences based off of it.
Sure.
I think I know what I like.
Yeah.
So
that's fair. I also did not post. I'm like, I don't know if I stand behind these rankings, frankly. But what I did like, I don't know if you checked this out. I'm assuming not, but we also got a Spotify Wrapped for our podcast, Ryan.
I did see that.
Did you check it out?
No, I didn't.
That's perfect. Because I'm about to quiz you.
Okay.
Well, actually, first, I wanted to shed some light on this fiscal year situation because this has been something that's puzzled me all the time. First of all, I'm like, why are you releasing it December 1st? We still got a whole month left in the year. But anyway, yeah, the other thing is like, you would assume, at least I would assume, that it's like you're just taking the data at December 1st and just like making analyses on it then. But on our podcast Wrapped, it said, like, congrats, you released 21 episodes this year. And I'm like, well, we're on 27 now, but 26 at the time. So it's like, what's going on? Episode 21 was our last episode in October. So I think the fiscal year ends in November. Now the question is, does the fiscal year start in the November of the previous year? I don't know.
I also do not know.
I'm guessing maybe not. But if so, you're missing 2 months of rappage.
That's probably the 2 months I listen to the most classic rock.
Yes, that's exactly right. November, December, those are my classic rock months. Yeah. Most people think Christmas music, but no, not for me. So it's kind of bizarre, but
I did get our podcast as my number 3 podcast out of 3. Okay, but I will say that that's only because we started about halfway through this year.
Okay.
So
so you're listening to us all the time, probably.
I am.
Okay.
I am. I actually do listen to our own episodes. Maybe that surprises you. I'm pretty sure you don't, but it's okay. But I put them on like when I'm in the car, just like for a few minutes at a time.
Just to see where we're at.
Yeah.
Just to see our evolution. That's fair. And
so it's up there. Mm-hmm. I didn't realize that our own podcast got a Spotify Wrapped though.
Oh yeah, no, it actually did. This one, I don't know how to turn these into quiz questions. It's harder than I expected. Okay. Based on the on that. I guess no, we're going back to quiz questions. What was our podcast in the top? Okay, you're fill in the blank. It's so easy, guys. It's not so going well. Your podcast was in the top blank most shared globally. Was it? Do you want multiple choice?
I would like multiple choice.
You don't want to just guess?
I can guess, but I don't think it will go well.
Was it the top 82% most shared globally? Was it the most, and this is going to be low to high.
Okay.
Was it in the top 82%? Was it in the top 25%? Or was it in the top 1%?
I'm going top 1%.
The top 1%?
Yeah.
That was incorrect. That
was
incorrect. Would you like a second guess?
I would. Top 25%.
That is correct.
Wow.
Yes. Wow.
That's incredible.
I know. I think most of those was me sharing to the Instagram story because 64% of our shares are on Instagram.
Nice.
And I share every week pretty much. So I think that's mostly me. I was carrying the shares there. This other one, Ryan, fill in the blank.
Okay.
You're in the top blank % most followed podcasts.
Okay.
Is it the top? Is it the top 92%? Is it the top 54%? Or is it the top 20%?
You didn't give top 1% as a...
I did not give top 1% as a...
That was my first guess.
We are not the top 1%. That's your hand.
I'm gonna go with top top 92%.
That's where you're going?
That's other side of the.
That is
other side.
incorrect. Would you like another guess?
Sure. Top 54.
That is incorrect.
Top 20%.
We're in the top 20% most followed
Wow,
podcasts.
that's incredible.
I know. I was shocked when I saw that.
That doesn't seem right.
Well, believe it.
That's what Spotify says.
That's what they say. That's what they say. I don't know how they're measuring that exactly. I'm assuming it's by number of follows.
Yeah.
But I was quite pleased with that.
Great.
So thank you. You made that possible.
Thank you.
This is like my friend Zach, giving him another shout out. This is probably 3 weeks in a row. He opened up the Discover app and they're like, we're number one thanks to you or something like that. But it's like, all right, that seems a little self-congratulatory nonetheless. So that's that was that portion of the podcast, the self-congratulatory portion of the podcast.
Well, thanks to all our listeners for giving us a great Spotify rap.
Right.
We appreciate that.
Absolutely. That's the one thing I cherish most in this holiday season.
Yeah, and I just said how much I love them. So.
Yeah, exactly. Good stuff. Do you have any other big updates, Ryan?
Big updates. Not a big update, but maybe a right update.
Oh, okay.
My high school club is finally over.
Oh, that is great.
And we made a difference.
Yeah,
Let me tell you.
Can we get a tally on how many people?
We made a difference. Let's count them.
Yeah.
Let's count them.
Together.
All right. 1. All right. Thanks, guys. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for counting along with us. We helped one person.
Yeah.
Over, I want to say, 8 weeks.
That's a pretty
so
great ratio. A 1/8.
And there were 2 of us.
Okay.
So that
and just to recap, was this the person that you couldn't actually help? You just
this was the person that we could not actually help
because
so
there
really,
was some sort of
it's 1 asterisk.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the asterisk is actually 0.
Yes.
That's what that was.
Yeah. And when I say that it's over, I mean, I don't know what its status is, but it's basically over to me. I don't know.
Explain what you mean by that. Are they expecting you to keep showing up and you're just ditching?
Well, you see, that was never communicated to me.
Okay.
To be
Seems
fair,
like a lot of
I'm
lack
not
of
sure if they know that I've been showing up for the past couple
in
weeks.
general.
Yeah.
Like
all I know
college
is that
student that comes in and studies in our library.
Yeah. This course that's attached to this club, which is a whole nother thing I don't even want to be a part of, but this course that's attached to it ends this semester.
Mm-hmm.
And we are basically done with this semester.
That seems like a good indicator that you're probably going to be over. So that seems fair for you.
I do have a check-in meeting coming up on Wednesday.
Okay.
And I'm intrigued to see how that's going to go.
I'm very excited to see what you come up with.
I will give an update. I'm not really sure what I'm going to say, what we're going to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
All I know is that I didn't schedule one, and then I got an email saying, if you don't schedule one, you're not passing.
There you go.
I did, and we will see what's going from there.
Good luck with that.
Thank you.
And may the powers that be help you be in the spend zone. You know,
that's right.
Really make it seem like you did a lot. Well, I mean, and it's not going to be difficult because you did do a lot.
I did.
A lot of nothing. But
yes. To be fair, I'm of the opinion, maybe this is apathetic.
Mm-hmm.
It most definitely is.
Sure.
That I don't really care.
That I would. Is that apathy? Yes.
Let me check the definition real quick.
And beep.
Yes, that is apathy.
Let's come back. We're good.
I really don't care.
Yeah. Would you say this is a regret from the semester?
This would be a regret.
Okay. Sure.
Normally I live by no regrets, but this is definitely a regret for sure.
Yes.
And I don't even know really what I could have done differently.
Yeah.
It was just that they never sort of got it sorted out on their end. So I'm just
Keep telling yourself that.
Well, I will, because that's what happened.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm going to tell this lady during our meeting on Wednesday at 4:30.
Yeah. Say, maybe let's get some together here. Well, Yes.
That was a nice commitment. That was a commitment wrapped, and that commitment has been wrapped up
Yes.
for now.
Mhm.
Another thing that I did, I read an entire book in one day yesterday.
Proud of you.
It was 250 pages.
Oh, okay.
It was all right. It was not great.
What was the purpose of this?
It was
I'm assuming it was for a class.
It was for a class.
Okay, sure.
It was for my immigration class.
Uh-huh.
The book was called Lost in Translation, and it was about an immigrant experience moving from Poland to Canada
Okay.
and then to the US.
Okay, sure.
I had to write 1,000 words on this book
Uh-huh.
by Sunday night. Technically by a while ago, but by Sunday night.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, I don't know why I read the book.
Mm,
I've always been one of those kids that will read the book.
sure.
I've never gone on like Spark Notes or whatnot. What even the tools are, I don't know because I don't use them.
Right. You don't have the resources.
After
be
reading
able to
this
do that.
book and then looking at what I actually needed to write about it, I had never. This was my second regret of the semester.
Yes.
I have never regretted reading a book more than that night, which was only last night.
So let me get this straight. Did you not read the prompt before going to the book?
I read them all. There were 4 questions,
Uh-huh.
about 250 words each, and I read them all, and I thought it would be harder to answer them.
Uh-huh.
But I read the book, and I thought,
This has not gotten me any closer.
this is
to
not.
what I
I'm
wanted.
not any closer or farther to my goal.
Yeah.
After reading this book,
Well, I am closer to my time
yeah,
goal.
closer
That
to
is
my
for sure.
deadline for sure.
Yeah.
And we were writing up to the last minute
Mhm.
of 11:59 p.m. And I don't know. I just feel like this course has been one disappointment after another.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's all I have to say about
And
that.
that's all. I will be leaving a 1 star on my course
Yeah,
eval.
I mean, the book, by the way, the book wasn't even bad. The book was actually pretty good if I wasn't trying to read it super fast and then not really getting a lot from it.
Yeah.
But even reading it super fast, I could tell that the questions didn't really relate at all.
Yeah.
So
But
that was cool.
Maybe if you had read slower, you would have seen that the questions did relate some.
Yeah.
It's hard to say.
I mean, maybe. I don't know.
Hey, I'm not going to tell you how to read your books. All right. I personally listen to my books.
I'll tell you that I liked the book enough that I was thinking of reading the last 20 pages, which I didn't get to later. So
yeah. I bet all the questions were answered in that last 20 pages. That's probably what it was.
It seemed doubtful, which is why I didn't read the last 20 pages. I got to the last 20 pages and I thought, I really don't think I don't think the hidden answers contained within these
pages, within these texts.
Yeah.
I would love to follow along kind of a live tweet thought stream of you as you're reading this book.
Sure.
You start out, all right, we got to get going. Just be looking out for these questions.
Sure.
You're reading like, this is pretty good. Halfway through, you're like, so far nothing, but maybe it's a packed second half.
Yeah.
It could be. You get to 3/4 of the way. It's like things are looking grim, but we persevere. Then you get 40 pages, 30 pages, like still nothing. 25, 24. No, maybe these last few will have some though. Once you hit 20 though, you're like, all right, I'm done. I can't. There's definitely nothing in these last 20 pages.
Well, the first 100 pages are all about her life in Poland.
Okay.
Which is great, but the class is about immigration.
Right.
So
far, none of that has happened yet.
No immigration has taken place.
Right.
And the context is nice, but totally unnecessary for all of the questions.
Okay, sure.
So I honestly could have skipped the first 100 pages. I wish I'd known that, and I would have. The next 100 pages or probably more like 70 to 80 pages, are all about her life in Canada.
Uh-huh.
This is the only place where I got some meaningful information.
Okay.
Because this is where she's actually assimilating, acculturating, whatever you call it, to Canada/America. The next 100 or so pages are all about her going to college in the United States. But by this point, she's already lived in Canada for like 5-6 years or so.
Wow. Okay.
So it's like we're kind of past the immigration point.
Well, she
At least-
immigrated from Canada to the
Well,
U.S.
that is true. But in terms of like assimilating, which is what most of the questions were about, not as helpful.
Sure.
In all, 2 out of 5.
Sure. Good. Boom. Stamp it with the 2 out of 5 and done.
When's the last time you read a book?
Okay. We're getting into it. Pretty recent.
Okay.
Well, how do partial books count?
Sure.
Okay. I'm currently reading one.
Do you mind telling us?
Sure, I would love to. It's called Mere Christianity by C.S. Lewis. And
is he the one that wrote the Chronicles of Narnia?
That is the one
Okay.
and only.
Cool. Did I tell you that for the longest time I didn't realize that those were like Christian allegories?
Yeah, I didn't know until college. I still haven't read them, frankly.
I didn't realize it until watching the third installment in the movies. And at the end, Aslan, the lion, starts talking about God for like a good couple minutes. And I was like,
hang on, when did this get religious?
What?
Yeah.
Why is he? And I was like, oh. And then I looked it up and I saw that he is God.
Yeah.
He's supposed to be the right.
What really cleared it up was when he got crucified. And that really made things, things clear. But no, I mean, it's just kind of a book on general Christian apologetics, as some would say, which is as confusing as it is, not apologizing for your faith.
Did you get this book at the Catholic Good Store?
I did not. Not. Which I did go to a Catholic Good Store, by the way, just throwing that in there.
Yeah.
Recently. No, I didn't. I got it from my friend Sierra. It's on loan. And I should probably be wrapping it up so I can give it back to her because it's been a couple months now, I think. So
right.
But
anyway. Well, our other friend Isabel is reading A Case for Christ.
There you go.
Which I assume it might be along the same lines. I don't really know.
I would say maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm great.
Which is to say, it's open for you to take if you're interested in dabbling through there.
Well, like I said, I have to finish this book first. So
right, the last 20 pages that might take you a while.
I did get offered to attend a Gospels 101 class.
There you go.
On Sunday, but I said I was
Probably
busy
from Sierra.
Yeah.
Yes. There you go.
I said I was busy because I had to go to Catholicism 101.
Okay. And she's like, that's not at the same time.
Definitely at the same time.
Yeah. Yes, I'm actually about to go get interviewed for Gospel 101.
Really?
By Sierra. Yeah. She's interviewing people of different faiths. And you might be saying, now hang on, aren't you both Christians?
Well, I did get that cleared up.
Yeah.
Is that you're not, but
yes. Yeah. No, wait, hang on. No, I am a Christian.
Yeah.
But I'm just also a subset. And so that kind of counts, I guess, for the class, for the curriculum. So you needed 3 people.
Of different.
I'm one of the 3. Yeah. Now I do want to get something on my chest here because I last week I kind of went through the whole therapeutic process of getting off my chest the guy who refused me gas, specifically an abundance of credit on my account for no apparent reason.
Sure.
This one tracks back. I'm going back into the therapeutic process. This one goes back to middle school. And at one point, I think I'm in like a world religions class or something like that. Maybe, no, it was world languages, but I think we were maybe talking about religions. This girl asked me, what faith are you, or something like that. I'm like, I'm Catholic. She goes, Catholic? Wow. I'm Christian. And I'm like,
that's messed up.
Okay, well, it seems like basically the same.
Yeah.
And then the real kicker, because even that, I'm like, I don't think you even get it right now. The real kicker is then a couple weeks go by. who do I see at my church but this girl? She is also Catholic.
Look who's the Catholic now.
I'm like, what's going on
Wait,
right
what?
now? You just that really
I'm
threw me
confused.
off. That really threw me off.
Maybe she didn't know if she was Catholic
Almost
or
certainly.
not.
That's
What is-
probably that's tough.
okay, that's
tough for her.
interesting. Yeah.
But that's really I've been carrying that around, and I just wanted to get that off. But anyway, yeah, it's been a big religious moment for me in my life. Obviously, been going to class, but also been digging in to the beliefs, what's going on right now. Also a big moment for me on kind of an equal level. I ran out of 2-in-1 recently.
Basically the same.
Well, where was I going with that? I ran out of 2-in-1, and before I had said, when I run out of 2-in-1, maybe I'll go on a hair cleanse. I did not decide to go on a hair cleanse, but what I did decide to do is I purchased shampoo and conditioner separately.
Wow.
Separate.
That is
so
great.
I'm now on the 2-in-2.
That's a big step up for you.
It is a big step up. Well, it's a big step somewhere. I don't know if it's up. I don't know if it's down, side to side. I'm assuming it's up just because of how much people rave about getting off of 2-in-1. So far, I've yet to see any effects. So, obviously, I don't want to make a judgment too soon.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, it seems to be a it seems to be no change.
Okay.
But we'll see.
Sure.
We'll see over the course of time. Only time will tell. So, yeah, it's been big.
Maybe we'll check back next week and see if your hair looks any different or just still what it is now.
Still kind of the sad state.
Yeah. Well.
Anyway, I will say also, I went to Target. Should have gone to Super Saver maybe. I don't know. Target, only 1 2-in-2 in the whole men's section.
What do you mean by like packaged together?
No.
It's the same.
2 bottles, 1 shampoo, 1 conditioner. Yeah. Everything else is 2-in-1 there.
Oh, okay.
I think they know their market, frankly. I think they know that folks really aren't doing this. But I don't know. Maybe I just went to the wrong store. I don't know. Right?
This is a new experience for you. So
it is. Frankly, it's I'm stepping beyond my comfort zone. And we'll see where I'm in the growth zone right now. So, do you remember that from freshman year?
No, I don't.
At the convocation?
No.
The speaker that we had, he was like, "You got your comfort zone." He said, "There's no growth in the comfort zone. There's no comfort in the growth zone."
Now I do remember.
I'm in the growth zone right now, Ryan.
Yes.
I'm not comfortable.
Good. If there's one thing in life that I don't want to be comfortable.
Yes. I want to be growing. So
keep on growing.
Keep on growing and
never be comfortable.
Stop getting comfortable. Are you comfortable right now?
I hope not.
I sincerely hope you're not comfortable after listening to this episode.
No, you should be very uncomfortable.
Yes. So thanks for listening, though. Thanks for growing with us.
Thanks for being uncomfortable with us.
Yes. We'll see you next week.
I don't know that I will. Now it's kind of like a thing out of spite that I want.
Are you serious?
That seems pretty unhappy about that, guys.
Okay. Let's take a break and let's come back. And yeah.